Entertainment World Soldier here, and I am back to talk about Doctor Who, Season 12, Episode 9. And are we getting any closer to getting the Doctor at her best? Are we getting fantastic storylines, amazing graphics, fantastic character development? Fuck no! This episode is boring. For a Cyberman episode, I mean, we have seen some shit Cyberman episodes, but this has to be the worst I've ever seen. Now, is it bad enough that it's the worst in this series, this episode? No. But the writing is fucking tragic. There are some scenes that they never explain why this is happening. And I know some people are going to say that's going to be explained in the next episode, but some of these scenes could really do for explaining now. Extras, complete garbage. Our cast, the Doctor's companions, their acting is getting worse. This has to be the worst episode I've seen of them, their acting, which is surprising to me, especially Yaz. Wow. And the Doctor's she's just there. That's all she was in this episode. She was just there. She had no impact on anything. The Doctor should have an impact on an episode. You take the Doctor out of this episode, everything pretty much just happens the way the way it ends up happening. I mean, you could probably say one or two scenes she helped out, but oh my god, I'm not sure how much these writers are being paid, but if they're being paid anything other than £1, I don't know, a scene, it's too much. It's fucking too much because it's terrible. And right now, when the BBC's really trying to hide the fact people want the license fee taken away from them, Doctor Who ain't doing you any favours because you're wasting a lot of money on a lot of bad shit, especially in this episode. There was also a Doctor was copying this episode, copied from a better show. I'll name that show in the spoilers, but it was copying from a better show. One scene in particular they copied completely from another show. There is one good thing I can say about this episode, and it was that they brought up a weakness of the Cybermen in a scene, but I'll go into that in spoilers. I mean, that's the only thing I can say is they've at least kept a little bit of lore in this episode. But yeah, it was just a boring mess. Not as bad as other episodes, like the fucking Plastic in the Sea episode, when that has to be the worst in my opinion. But it's not as good though. I mean, it's not as bad, but oh my god, this episode was boring with Cybermen, for God's sake. And the fact we're in a fucking war and he wouldn't fucking tell it. Well, that's what I can do for non-spoilers. Again, it's a terrible episode. And I would avoid it like the fucking plague if you're a Doctor Who fan. But yeah, that's my non-spoiler section. So I'm going to go into spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, spoilers. So we start off this episode with a Cyberman talking in a cyber graveyard or something. He's talking about pretty much what the Cybermen are trying to do, which is, take over the human race or something. And then that scene ends and we get the whole, Doctor Who crawl. We're then on a planet. No, we're not on a planet, sorry. We are. A man is riding his bike down a lane and he finds a baby in the middle of the road, which is very odd. By the way, this scene never gets explained what this kid is or anything. Now I'm guessing, and I think this might be what I'm thinking, I know this might be the child, Gallifreyan child thing. I'm not too sure what it's called, but yes, he might be the child. I can't be too sure, but okay. So this man finds a child in the middle of the road. takes it back to his wife. They call in a Garda, which, if you don't know what a Garda is, it's an Irish policeman. Which I was kind of shocked to see, like, why are we in Ireland for this? See, this kid's whole arc doesn't make a fucking bit of sense, because they never explain it. The mother child, that's the fucker. I think it's the mother child. But, okay, so they call a Garda in. They have to look after the kid until they find the kid's parents, but they don't. So these two become a mother and a father to this little boy. And this whole scene does never get explained throughout the episode. It's just there from time to time. We then go to the Doctor, another scene where the Doctor has gone to the future without a TARDIS and tells, all the others that humanity's been pretty much wiped out and there's only 7 humans left. So we couldn't have got the last episodes being like the cyber wars. Humanity going up against humanity going up against the Cybermen in a massive war with great scenes, great battle scenes. No, it's 7 idiots on an abandoned planet surviving on God knows what. I don't get it. I really don't. It's like, you could make these episodes epic, but they decided to make them boring. David Tennant fucking did it right when the Cybermen first came. They came into London, they killed the president of London, and they fucking tried to take over the world. It looked so epic when they attacked. And then you had the Cybermen as a ghost who appeared out of nowhere, and then they had a massive fight with the Daleks. Epic scenes, epic stories. What do we get from these new Doctor episodes? There's fucking 7 people alive, and the Cybermen only send 3 dudes, which is the main Cyberman from the last episode, and 2 crappy looking other ones. But they haven't arrived yet, so I just went on a rant because, again, we've seen better Doctor Who episodes, and it's just gotten so bad these days. Oh my god. So where was I? Yeah, Doctor Who tells her companions that human race is down to 7 people. She goes down and talks to the 7 people. She talks to the first guy she sees. He says he's a leader. The Doctor starts setting up things around the camp to try and protect the last humans from a cyber attack. They mention the fact the Cybermen's greatest weakness is gold. Now, I will say this for them. That was never brought up in David Tennant's era. The fact the Cybermen's greatest weakness was gold. That's really old Doctor Who. That was ever mentioned. So I'll give them credit for that. They mentioned the gold weakness of the Cybermen. But that's where my fucking credit goes now. Then so the Cybermen, they attack. Oh no, they don't attack yet, because then Ryan has to explain to this dude walking up what is this Unite plant put in the ground? He says a defense that fires gold at Cybermen because their greatest weakness. The man's brother comes over, who I think's mute or something. He tries to explain to his brother this is something that's going to protect us, and tells Ryan to explain to him and give him a handshake. All this crap. And then the Doctor asks the people where's your ship? Are you going to get out of here anytime soon? It's no, our ship's damaged. It's damaged, is it? Again, I say that because 10 minutes later it works. And so it's not that damaged then, is it? Because, I don't know. I mean, for God's sake, they could have flown it away straight away. A lot of people in the scene that died didn't need to die because they just could have ran to the ship. Or the Doctor could have done something fantastically smart. Got a fucking TARDIS. A TARDIS a massive ship. Grab these humans, put them in there, and take them somewhere safe. Because, Doctor, this is your fault this is even happening. Jack pretty much fucking told you, don't give the Cyberman what he wants. But you had to do that because of some ridiculous notion you have. I mean, for fuck's sake. This is all her fault, and she doesn't do anything to help. I mean, putting a bunch of gold firing things down, she could just put these humans in a TARDIS and put them somewhere safe. But she doesn't because, I don't know, writing, because I need this episode to go to a certain point. But we'll get into that in the future. Oh, so Doctor asks about the ship. They say it's damaged, and then the Cybermen attack. Now, how did they attack? Now, this is what I mean by they have copied from another sci-fi series, and it's a fucking Orville. They've copied the fucking Orville, a 10 times better show than this, with drone heads. Now, if you've seen the Orville, you know about the heads coming off of the I forgot what the race is called, but the robots' heads come off and they start flying around and shooting laser beams at people. We now have cyber heads flying around shooting lasers at people. And the Doctor's defense that she put up didn't do a fucking thing. Again, these writers, they hate the Doctor. I mean, they're supposed to be SJWs, and this whole episode's pretty much about refugees. That's the whole SJW message in this episode. And she doesn't do anything. She puts a bunch of fucking things on the ground, do nothing. She just looks at the cyberheads flying around shooting at people. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't use a sonic, doesn't use a TARDIS, doesn't do anything. Just watches and tells them to run. They hate Jodie. They must hate Jodie. The writers just hate Doctor. They just don't know what they're doing. The Doctor doesn't do anything except cower, hide, and tell people to run. Then the cyberheads kill that dude's brother, the one who wasn't speaking, blows him up, and some other woman who didn't say much because, you know, they're just trying to get this shit over and done with, this scene. And then, they're dead. Where am I now? Yeah, then there's 3 Cybermen who are not heads, just walk up. It's the one from the last episode and 2 other Cybermen. Now, 3 cyber ships arrive, and only one has Cybermen in it. The others, I don't know, probably had heads. I'm not too sure, because we only ever see 3 Cybermen in a cyber fucking war when apparently humanity's been fucking just destroyed. But there's only 3 Cybermen left and a bunch of flying heads. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but, you know, fucking pathetic. I mean, you could add the story have been the Doctor lands on this moon base. Human race is having their last stand against the Daleks. Not the Daleks, the Cybermen. The Cybermen have a fleet that arrives. You have a massive battle scene. The Doctor's telling the human race you need to flee because you're going to lose this war. The human general is like, no, we have to stand, we have to fight. And, you know, that would have been a great opening to this episode if it had been better. But no, we just have this boring ass scene. I mean, fuck me, man. She then tells her companions to run to the ship because everybody else is running to it now, because apparently it now suddenly works, even though about 2 seconds ago they said it didn't work. She tells them they have to run to the ship and get to safety, blah blah blah, and all that shit. So they do the old trope, which is, we're not going to leave you. I mean, again, you've done that literally most of these episodes now. Could you just once just go? Is it that fucking difficult? So they leave the Doctor, they run to the ship, but they get split up. Ryan gets lost somewhere, and then Yaz and Graham get into the ship and try to tell the refugees on the ship, we have to wait for the others. But the refugees are scared, and they do the right thing, which is run for it, because again, Cybermen are fucking shooting at you and trying to kill you. It's time to get the fuck out of there. So they do. Ryan then bumps into the Doctor. We then go with 2 other refugees, the man who the Doctor talked to first and this kid. The cyber leader, again the one from the last episode, walks in, tells them he knows that they're there. The boy runs out, tries to give the other guy a chance to leg it. He tries to hold off the Cyberman. The Cyberman knows what he's doing, shoots the guy behind the wall, and then pretty much tells the boy that he's going to leave him alive to tell the survivors that he's going to kill them all, basically. But the Doctor arrives, throws a grenade at him, and they run to a cyber ship and steal it. And then we somehow go back to the Kidden Island, because they are an island. So this scene never gets explained. The kid is apparently grown up now. He's an adult, and he's called Brendan. So Brendan is trying to apply to be a Garda, which again is an Irish policeman. And the Garda tries to question him and ask him why he wants to be a Garda. He says he wants to help people, and then the Garda tells him about he remembers the time when he was with the father who found him on the road. Well, he remembers it. I don't fucking know. So that scene happens. Again, never gets explained, but hold on. So we go to the next scene. The next scene is literally they're on a refugee ship. The refugee ship's pretty much fucking up already, and they start telling the companions about where they're going, and the place that they're going is called. Hold on, give me a minute. It's called Colcheves, I think. That's the planet they're going to, which is pretty much safety to get away from the Cybermen and to pretty much live somewhere safe. Basically, this whole episode is literally about refugees trying to escape war. You know, to remind us of what we have to see every day on the news. Because we don't hear enough of that. Refugees, war, fair enough. So, the ship then starts to break down. It does break down at the end. We then go back to the cyber ship that the Doctor stole, and she starts telling them how it works. The kid then that she rescued in the other scene tells the Doctor how he knows how to rip apart a Cyberman ship. His dad told him he was born in war, again to remind us of the Syrian war and Syrian refugees and all they've had to deal with, because the war has lasted so long. Children who were born in war and have not known anything other than war. That's all this episode is about, is this, Syrian refugees. Now again, I feel sorry for them, but I really have to watch it in Doctor Who. I could watch a documentary on Channel 4 about that, because there's actually good ones on Channel 4 about that. And it tells you all the information you know if you want to help them. But no, I have to watch this in Doctor Who. It's fucking stupid. So the guy tells Doctor again about how he knows how to do it with his dad. Dad's dead, because I think he fought in the Cyber Wars. Again, something we'd have loved to have seen, Doctor Who. The Cyber Wars. No, we had to see the end of the Cyber Wars, because we had to get this whole bullshit about refugees out. Fucking hell. And the cyber leader rings up and pretty much tells the Doctor his evil plan, which is he wants to take over the galaxy. Doctor tries to be funny in this scene and doesn't fucking work. She's not funny in this episode. She's never been funny, actually. And then he tells her about a past thing. I'm not really sure what the past thing was, but I've written it down. And and his whole entire plan is to take over the entire galaxy. He just has to tell Doctor that. Like, I don't know why. But yeah, he just tells the Doctor his plan, his evil plan, and then that scene ends. God, how is it this boring? It's like, you could have done this so much better. Like, again, this scene could have been the Cyberman's trying to taunt the Doctor, trying to make Doctor angry. You could have said he grabbed somebody. You could have had Ryan being caught by a Cyberman and the Cyberman threatening to kill him if Doctor didn't surrender herself. But no, we had to again, because that scene would have been good and taken away from the refugee story. Because again, refugee story matters. Not the main story and trying to keep this show relevant. My God. Again, this entire episode could have been planned so much better. I'm really considering doing episodes now about what should have happened. I don't know, I might be doing it because it was so boring. And it's just starting to really piss me off. Hold on. Then we go back to Brendan in Ireland, who is now a Garda, a policeman. He's chasing a thief, and then the thief pulls out a gun. Pretty much Brendan's like, don't have to shoot me, we can talk about this. They then circle around, and then the thief shoots Brendan, and Brendan falls down a massive cliff to his death. But when another Garda runs over to try to see if see if he can save Brendan, turns out Brendan's not dead. I mean, he just fell off a fucking cliff whilst being shot in the chest, and he survived, and nobody knows why. Because next scene later, you see a doctor examining him, and the Garda and his dad don't fucking understand what the fuck's going on. He should be dead. And then we go to a fucking dinner scene with him and his mother and his father. I have no idea who this fucker is. I mean, not fucker. I have no idea what the fuck's just happened. Again, they never explain this entire fucking scene. It's fuck me, man. I mean, how he survived, why we're even watching an Irish guy in this episode, never explained. What the fuck? Man. So we next scene is literally with the refugee ship, and the companions Yaz and Graham start asking like, what the hell's, how are we gonna survive? The ship's pretty much crumbling apart. They start hearing things hitting the ship. They don't know what it is. Turns out they're in the middle of a cyber graveyard, and bits of Cybermen hitting the ship, and they then see a base, or what looks like a base, and Yaz pretty much tells all refugees, yeah, we need to get to that because we'll be much safer on some random base than we will on a crumbling refugee ship. So the refugees are kind of worried, but they say fine. And Graham says, listen, it's our best chance, which is their best chance. And then they pretty much fly to this random base in the middle of a field of Cybermen. It's fucking stupid. I mean, yes, the refugee ship might be, you might die on the refugee ship, but you might have a lot more safety than going to some random base that you have no idea whose base it is. I mean, what if they landed on that base and it just been a shitload of Cybermen waiting for them? Which it turned out it was, but they just weren't woken up yet. But yeah, it's stupid writing. Stupid fucking writing. And yeah, pretty much the base looks abandoned. They pretty much go in groups and look around, and then a cyber ship arrives, and then we get the cyber leader pretty much saying that we've tracked them and he's going to go hunt them down. And then one of the cyber men, one of his gang, has a female voice. Now, to the feminists out there who, I don't know, may watch this episode and just call me sexist for this and say, what does that matter if one of the cyber men have a female voice? What you don't get about the cyber men is that the fucking notion of sex and gender and male, female goes. They're not supposed to have emotion. They're not supposed to fucking have sex. They're not supposed to be men or women. They're cyber men. So how this fucking cyber woman is now in an episode, I have no idea. Again, it's just stupid because it's just to remind people there are two genders. But that's not what the Cybermen are about. They're about making everybody the same. Taking away gender, taking away fucking feelings, emotions, to make you a robot. That's what the fucking thing is. So making a cyber woman is fucking stupid. I know it's a little rant, but fuck it. It's fucking stupid. Oh yeah, and it was also, this base is in the middle of the Cyberman's biggest defeat. Because the Cyber leader says that for some reason. It's just to throw that shit out there, just to tell people why this place is so important to Cybermen. I mean, they couldn't have shown us this big battle, this big defeat. No, it would cost too much money. And would have been an epic scene to watch. But no, let's just get the refugee story right. Fucking hell. So the doctor, we then go back to the doctor, who is then calling the planet, because she thinks she thinks Corcellos, I think is what it's called, Corcellos is a planet, but it turns out it's a person. Now, if you watch Game of Thrones, you'll know who this person is. He was the head of the King's Guard before he got thrown out and became Daenerys' King's Guard. Yeah, that actor's back, and he's on a planet that looks exactly like Ireland. So everything they filmed is pretty much in Ireland, I kind of think. And I remember it's cheap to film there. I don't know, but yeah, he's on Ireland, but it's apparently a distant planet. He doesn't know who these people are. He starts to think that these are Cybermen. The Doctor has to convince him that no, they're not Cybermen. They just need to land, and they need to talk to him. And yeah. So we then go back to the refugees on the ship. They're looking around. It's a big fucking ship. They're then trying to fix the they then go to the bridge. They think the ship can move, and they can head to Corcellos to, you know, get to safety with this cyber ship. It turns out this is a ship, not a base. And yeah, they're gonna fix it, fly it all the way to Corcellos, and get to safety. Graham then goes with a woman to go look around for some reason, and yeah, they go looking around. They make jokes with each other. Graham starts to bring up, you know, Cockney rhyming slang to her, and the woman then says she likes Graham. So yeah, we needed that scene. It's fucking boring. I don't know why I fucking added it. I fucking don't know. But they find, Graham and the woman, that this ship isn't just any old ship. It's a fucking troop carrier, because it's got a shitload of Cybermen on it. Now, I'll give them credit. I do like the new cyber outfit, but you know, it's just wasted in this episode. So they pretty much, Graham tells the others, like, this ship's troop carrier. They pretty much go. They don't know what to do next. The Doctor tells Coachella. I was call it Coachella. I don't know what the real thing's called. Coachella, like why are you here? Like, how are you saving people? Coachella tells them that, you know, he survived in the cyber camps. Him and a group of people managed to escape cyber camps and cyber war to this planet. Then this planet had some sort of pathway to a safe place for them to go. And he says that he stayed behind to guide others through the gate to safety. And then the Doctor says, well, that's fantastic. You're helping refugees, basically. So we go back to the cyber ship, well, the cyber base. The refugees and Yaz and Graham trying to figure out what to do. The ship is more advanced than any other they've ever seen, the refugees say, and they don't understand. And they're still trying to get it working. Why are they not trying to get the fuck off the ship? So why are they still on it? You're still on the cyber ship, you idiots. Get the fuck off of it. Grab the cyber ship. Do something. You're on a cyber ship full of Cybermen, and they're still considering taking that ship to Coachella, to where they're supposed to be safe from the fucking Cybermen, but they're stuck on it, and they're not. Oh, it's fucking stupid, man. Then we see a scene when the cyber leader starts attacking Cybermen. He opens one of them up. He then starts ripping it apart. Then these two other Cybermen attack other Cyber. I don't. That scene just. And again, I think this Cyber leader thinks he's a god. He starts talking like, "I am a god" to Cybermen or something. I don't fucking know. Then we go to Coachella, who then shows the Doctor and the others the path to safety, which is just this big. Well, we don't see it yet. It's just an ocean. He just shows them an ocean. Then the Doctor goes first to the gateway that Coachella tells them. It then turns into this like massive bubble thing, and then Coachella's like saying, "Look, it looks amazing. You know, you have to walk through now to safety." And then the Doctor starts to see something, and it turns out it's fucking Gallifrey. Fucking Gallifrey just appeared out of nowhere. And Coachella then tells the Doctor, "I've never seen this before in my life." And then Yaz rings up the Doctor somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. Rings up the Doctor, tells them they need help. The Doctor can't help because he's too far away. The Cyber leader then tells the group that he's coming for them, and he leads an army of Cybermen to the bridge. They lock down the bridge. They're then hearing the bangs of the Cybermen trying to break through. Then the Master then appears out of nowhere, jumps to the portal and says, "Hello, Doctor," and then the episode ends. And that's it. That's the episode. Again, it's bad writing, a lot of mistakes. Oh, I forgot one scene. We see Brendan when he's older and he's retiring from the Garda, and then two guys, his police sergeant or something, and his father grab him, put him in a chair, and torture him for some reason. Again, never explained. That entire arc of this episode, never explained. Now I'm guessing they explain it in the next episode, but could you explain it now? Because it makes no sense in the episode. This episode's a mess. It's boring. And I don't know. They just don't care about the writing anymore in this. I am going to give this episode a score of 3. 3 out of 10. It's not as bad as last week's episode, but it's not as good. And the Doctor's still not acting like Doctor. She's still acting like an idiot. The writing's still terrible. The direction's still bad, and the extras are still fucking awful. And that's the end of my review. I can't really do much else. I'm sorry, because this episode was boring, and that's all I can say. Like if you like the video, and dislike if you dislike the video, and do comment below and tell me, did you like this episode? Do you like the new Dark Cybermen? And if you like my videos, give me and subscribe if you like my videos. Sorry. Entertainment Soldier. Bye.